Welcome to Nerds Amalgamated, a podcast that covers the latest events in science, pop culture, and gaming.
I'm the professor, aspiring game developer, sci-fi aficionado, and completely and undeniably a geek trying to take over the world. I'll be breaking down the news from tech to gaming.
I am the DJ, a humble nerd, a big weeb,
and a watcher from the halls of the multiverse.
Just kidding. Anyways, I'll be breaking down all things comics to movies to anime.
Join us and stay hydrated as we quench you with witty banter, unintentionally hilarious hot takes, and trivia more fun than a night at the pub, courtesy of Nerds Amalgamated. Welcome back to Nerds Amalgamated. We've got a big one for you this week, because the last week is a date that will live in infamy. We're talking about the death of optical media, Minecraft servers being illegal, some Stop Getting Games news, synthetic life, and how Sony killed the movies.
What a big week it has been.
Yep, so much we couldn't pick just one topic. So I assume you've all heard by now that Sony is ending production of physical games by 2028.
Yeah, that came as a shock to me. Damn.
I feel like they've been working their way towards it for a while now.
Yeah, especially with the latest advent of GTA 6, purely what non-physical doesn't help the cause, does it?
Yeah, and they've been selling the non-physical PlayStation for like 3 years now.
Yeah, there was also, but then there was also the PlayStation 5 console with the disc drive as well. And man, those prices are gonna go up now with this announcement.
I don't know if they
Yeah.
will, because there won't be any games to buy to play on them.
Yeah, but it'd be very rare though, the rarity of it all.
What would then happen to EB Games and these game stores? I know that you
It'd be-
can still technically get physical game stuff, but once you hit that point, like what even is the point of buying a plastic games I don't know, album that has nothing in it other than a QR code?
It looks good on the shelf.
My hunch is, I reckon what they'll do is, it will just be you order the game off the EB website and you go to EB Games to get the box with the code, and they'll just verify the code. That's my hunch. So maybe just a verification kind of thing.
I don't know, is the physical, they're talking about stopping physical game sales. So
Yeah.
are they even going to bother producing that? I think EB Games is going to have to sell the few remaining games that are published, which, if Xbox goes the same way soon, Nintendo. Even though
Right.
for the Switch 2, a lot of those game cards don't actually have the game on them. They're just a verification key. So I think EB Games is going to fully merge with Zing, which for those of us who aren't Australian, there are two stores owned by the same company. Traditionally, EB Games has sold games and Zing has sold merchandise. But in the last few years, EB Games has started to sell tons of merchandise as well.
So we're officially seeing the death of the video game shop as we know it.
Yep, it'll just be specialty shops selling retro games.
Damn, man, damn. And the backlash from this announcement has been insane.
It has.
Like,
A lot of people are pissed off.
A lot of people are pissed off. I've seen some people going to the digital side saying how, oh, you physical discers, you physical discers are in denial about this. I've seen one content creator equating people owning physical discs as flat earthers for denying the data, which I found it very, very offensive. And then I've seen
Why were you so offended, DJ? Because you're a flat earther?
No, I am not a flat earther. I found it the whole equating it to flat earther as just a really stupid term. It's stupid. And everyone's now going like, embrace the digital. Go digital, everybody. Digital is the way to go.
We've
And
been
I've
going digital for a minute now, haven't we?
And I saw Asmongold, and I kind of get where he's coming from in terms of it's our fault that we have decided to embrace the digital stuff, like with the Netflix subscriptions and the Disney Plus subscriptions. It was only a matter of time, and we have to blame ourselves for this.
Well, he's wrong. Because we weren't given the option to buy physical movies for a long time before they took away the option to buy physical games.
I mean, okay, there was Okay, how about Netflix before they went digital when you had the DVDs and stuff and
Yeah, you still
Blockbuster?
could never get most Netflix shows on DVD.
Yeah, true, true,
All
fair enough.
the Netflix originals that I know of never came out on DVD. You can
Yeah.
buy bootlegs. People have set up stores selling bootleg DVDs of Netflix
Oh
shows.
yeah. Oh yeah. Amazon had a lot of those, and
Yeah.
eBay as well.
Yeah, but as far as I'm aware, no Netflix original has ever had an official DVD release.
Actually, I'm gonna find that out now. No.
You said there wasn't going to be fact checking.
Original What's okay? Here we go. Netflix shows that made on Netflix originals available on Blu-ray and DVD. This was in 2021. The Irishman, Marriage Story, Rolling Thunder Review, Roma, 13 Reasons Why, American Vandal. There's some BoJack Horseman, at least season 1 and 2 though. Castlevania season 1 and 2. There were a few. Looks like there were a few, but they're all
Okay,
just
but
like
they're also not the entire show.
yeah. They're all just like season 1 and 2 basically.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they're missing a lot of content.
Yeah, House of Cards had season 1 to 6, and Orange is the New Black season 1 to 7. So yeah, there were there were a few.
Okay, so my awareness was wrong. There are some, but I'm still going to argue that the majority weren't, and that's been happening for longer than Sony's been trying to take away physical games.
You know what's also the scary part about this and about that announcement was a few yesterday. When I was going back to some of the old episodes. Do you remember, Professor, that episode we were talking about RuneScape loot now considered against the law if you steal them?
Vaguely.
Yeah, and how I said this will be the death of you will not own anything in terms of gaming.
Well, let me refresh my memory. So that was a case where someone had stolen some RuneScape gold from another player
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then had criminal charges filed against them.
Yeah, yeah. And then I said, "This is the death of you will not own anything." I think this is the start. I think that was the start of the downfall.
No, it's been happening for a lot longer than that.
But I feel so guilty now. Like, oh no, I should have seen this happen. I told everybody about this.
Yeah,
Uh,
you think you're some sort of Cassandra, but the thing is, Cassandra was right.
oh man, the really really sad part about this is that, as I said, we brought this upon ourselves because we have this whole notion of yeah, instead of owning everything, let's share let's not own everything nowadays. Let's share them. I'm like, you guys did this. Why do this?
Money.
Uh,
I feel like this
uh,
ties into your topic, though, EJ.
yeah, but we'll talk more about my topic. But
No, I feel like we should talk about it now because of it'll flow better.
okay,
So
okay. The okay.
tell us how Sony are taking your movies away at
Okay,
possibly
so
the worst PR time possible.
well, interestingly, the Sony has confirmed that 551 movies and shows distributed by Sony Studio Canal will be wiped away from the Sony PlayStation Store libraries, including titles people already paid for, starting from the 1st of September 2026. Sony has notified affected customers via an in-app/email message blaming, quote, content licensing agreement without offering any refund or compensation. This mainly affects users in Europe and the UK. The US libraries aren't impacted. This is also not the first time Sony faced the same licensing issue with Studio Canal back in 2022, pulling movies from libraries in Austria and Germany.
And before that, they pulled all the Discovery Channel shows off.
Oh, that was that wasn't Sony. That was Discovery.
Yeah, but wasn't it on Sony's platform?
No, I think that was HBO Max.
Oh, okay. Either way, that's the end goal here. If you don't own a physical copy that can be played offline without a connection to the internet, it can be taken off you. And yeah, it's possibly the worst possible time for them to make this announcement, considering they're going through the terrible PR of ending physical distribution, only to prove why we need physical distribution.
Mind you, that news, the 551 movies being cancelled, that was the first shot, and then the physical, and then Sony announced no physical. So that was.
Yeah, and I feel a bit vindicated in pointing out that as far as I'm aware, Steam has never removed a game without offering a refund. Even when a game has to be taken off the store due to licensing, you
Mm.
can still download it and play it. You just can't buy it as a new purchaser. And the only times I'm aware of that Steam has taken a game out of your library are things like Concord,
Oh yeah, that was a terrible game.
and they gave refunds.
Oh, yeah, gracefully, might I add. Oh man, what I don't understand is, did Sony do the math on this and decided it's cheaper to eat the PR hit than renew the licensing deal? Like, do they thought, hey, let's have a PR hit instead of wasting so much money on a licensing deal.
Yeah, I think it's foolish for Sony to not have it figured out so that they can keep distributing it to people who've already bought it. Because there's no way to download it and keep a copy of it for yourself if they take it off you. It's just
Uh,
gone.
it's gone, and it's gonna be painful for people who've downloaded it because they bought it, and now they can't what and now it's gonna be taken off their hands.
Yeah, which is exactly what Stop Killing Games is about,
Oh.
which has just failed to get through the California Senate. Yay, good news, everyone. We're losing.
Just why are these politicians trying to do this? Why are they, like, we are trying to do something good, and yet these politicians want to go, nah, fuck you all. Let's not let's screw every one of you guys. Even if you're trying to do a good thing, let's fuck them. Like, what the
Calm
fuck,
down,
guys?
DJ. Take
No,
your
no, no.
medicine.
No. Fuck the calming down, because I am so frustrated with all this sort of, oh, you can't own property. No, let's share it all because politicians want us to do all the, don't hoard the shit now. Let's share it with everyone. Fuck. Oh, this is just frustrating.
Yeah, imagine how the people who have been trying to warn you about this sort of thing for years feel.
Oh yeah, I can totally
Stallman
see
was
it now.
right about this particular thing.
Even Kojima was right. Oh shit. Oh man. With the Stop Killing Games. So, did they say like who was the four no's and absentations, or do any have any ESA donor ties worth digging into for these guys?
Not that I'm aware of.
And also, what did the bill actually require, versus what the opponents claimed it demanded?
Well, the goal was to make games playable after they shut down.
Okay, makes sense.
And it won in the California State Assembly with a vote of 33 to 16.
Okay.
Then had to go to the Senate where it has to win again, which is how the laws work in California. And then if it won there, a final version would be created and submitted for approval by the House and Senate.
Okay.
So the final score in the Senate was 4 yes, 3 no, and the rest abstaining.
Did they like the stuff? What's interesting is the fact that this echoes the EU's Stop Destroying Video Games initiative failing despite 1.2 million signatures. Like, the patent of grassroots preservation efforts losing to industry, and the
Yep.
lobby, especially the lobby groups, that bloody
Well-
Ubisoft guy.
It's not over yet. They can always try again.
I understand they can try it again, but my gripe is the fact that how long there has to be a point where there has to be a point where you just go, you know what, I'm getting tired of this battle, you know? Like, I don't want this battle to become the definition of insanity, you know? Like, you're doing the same thing, you're expecting a different result every time.
Yeah, but this is too big to stop yet. It came from nowhere and it's gotten big enough that it's too big to stop easily. So it's not just trying again in California, it's trying in other states, it's trying federally, it's trying in other countries.
If
And
stop.
no, you go on.
No. I rudely interrupted you. Sorry.
No, I insist.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, so what I was going to say was that this is the bare minimum effort to get Stop Killing Games passed, and they got this far. So if they come back next time with proper funding and better preparation, it's not just hitting your head against a wall. It's something that might actually succeed next time.
That's what I'm wondering. So yeah, if it comes back, like, could you see it? Could you see it flip? Flip. That's an interesting question.
I hope so.
Uh, yeah, and if Stop Killing Games goes federal next, is that a fight consumers can realistically win against this much lobbying money?
With the current US government, I kind of doubt it. But we'll see.
Yeah, and what was fascinating about that thing was the fact that the ESA just beat this whole thing with a lobbyist and misinformation about certain games.
Oh, yes. They were asked about Minecraft and they said that having a Minecraft server is illegal. In which case, I am a hardened criminal. Come at me.
How is Minecraft? How is having a Minecraft server illegal now? Are we that stupid? Are we that stupid to say having a Minecraft server is now illegal? That's like saying I share a me. I'm posting a meme on the internet. I should be in jail according to the UK standard. Oh, this is so stupid.
No, it's completely different.
I understand it's completely different, but the principle is the same. You get arrested for doing something fun. That's the point.
Yeah,
Ah.
and driving like an idiot must be fun or people wouldn't keep doing it. And they get arrested for that.
You know, be fun. You know, be
But
funny.
Anyway, to cover the actual topic, the ESA's vice president have said in a testimony that private servers infringe on the intellectual property rights of game publishers. But they specifically said Minecraft servers are illegal, which is absolutely, completely false. Because Minecraft servers are freely downloadable from the official Minecraft website. If it was illegal, do you really think they would do that?
No. Oh man, a major industry lobby group calling something millions play illegally do piracy on the public record during a live testimony either shows staggering carelessness or a deliberate scare tactic. That
Yes, I don't know what she
Ah.
was getting at.
like what was this person trying to do? Start a next moral panic?
I wouldn't be surprised because part of her argument is that private servers reflect poorly on Microsoft. And that's been an argument that Microsoft have been going with for a while. It's why Minecraft has chat reports, so you can get banned from playing a single player world if you chat something that is offensive. It's why they have in the EULA stuff about servers adding in guns. They try to control what you're allowed to mod with the game.
Professor?
So yeah, they've been making that argument for a while.
Ah man. So if you ever run or join the private Minecraft or an old COD server, for example, you'll be now deemed a pirate or a criminal. Oh man. And what's also fascinating about this entire thing, even though the ESA clarified the matter about it, they didn't retract it.
Nope.
They just
They
went.
could
"Nah,
have clarified that they meant other games, but they didn't retract the statement about Minecraft.
yeah. What she did, it does say a lot about the entire lobbying process that that any claims can be used to make a worthwhile legislation go down in flames.
Yeah, this is a pretty disingenuous argument that they're making.
Yeah. And have you seen Notch's response to that whole ordeal?
I don't really care what he thinks, but he he has been very clear in the past that people should pirate Minecraft if they can't afford to buy it.
Oh, he called that statement borderline evil. As in the Minecraft servers.
Yep.
Yeah, he's yeah. So here we go. Here's what he said. I'm not part of either anymore, but I feel like the ESA is being incredibly scummy by pulling this. He says, I've never liked them, but even less so now. I didn't wish for my work to be used against people. This is borderline evil.
I mean, as long as it's borderline, right?
Evil. Sorry, other guy.
Sorry, what I said was as long as it's borderline, right?
Yeah, they got to push
Um,
the line as far up to the evil end as they can.
Yeah.
so you guys reckon that that carries moral weight, or is that rich coming from him specifically?
Well, he's turned out to not be the nicest person since he became a billionaire, so.
Oh man.
But, I don't think his opinion has much weight here, considering how long it's been since he's been involved in either Minecraft or Mojang. But yeah, it is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous statement that it's illegal to run a private game server,
I know,
especially when they are giving out the server files for free.
man. I am genuinely curious though with what that person said. Was it really a genuine screw up or a calculated lie, banking on the fact that no senator in the room would fact check it live? That's my biggest question.
I don't think we will ever know.
Yeah, yeah, and if the ESA will lie badly on camera, makes you wonder, what do you think they said behind closed doors when there's no recording?
I don't think we will ever know.
Ah man, this has been a very dark day for gamers all around. I mean,
Yep.
with at this rate, you're gonna see the gaming industry maybe crumble. I would say crumble a bit, in its own weight, but then I think that'd be disingenuous given how much the gaming industry is worth nowadays.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to crumble.
No, but then I mean we've started seeing a lot of people abandoning their PlayStation Network accounts. That we've seen a lot of. We've
For
also
how
seen.
long, though?
Yeah, that's going to be the question. How long is the revolution going to be? All three stories are fundamentally about who owns a game and what happens when access depends on the company's continued goodwill, which it's taken a really big hit now.
Yep.
Yeah, and with the Sony story, I was watching Yong Ye talking about it, and Sony's justification with why they're going to digital is if they said it was 80. They said it's been decided for some time, and I'm just trying to find. There was a statistic. Ah, here we go. There's a 2% of increase in 2024 where quarter one and quarter four reported 80% of sales were digital. Its sales in gaming overall remained essentially flat, contributed positively by the impact of foreign exchange rates, an increase in sales from networking services, and an increase in sales in non-first party titles. But yeah, they said when the PS5 launched with an option to have no disc at all, it was evident that the digital era has become king. Now Sony has reported that a record-breaking 85% of PlayStation game sales were digital in the full fiscal in its last full fiscal year.
Yeah, and I think a good argument against that is that how many games are actually physical to begin with, because other people have pointed out that their calculation method appears to rely on the total number of games sold and not take into account that most games don't come on disc to begin with.
Yeah, and not to mention they also forgot to discount the fact that how many games are free to play. And some people were saying that the reason why Sony's doing all this sort of thing, like from taking the discs, taking away physical media, and taking the movies away from it, it's apparently a cost-cutting measure, which I think that's just a giant form of cope.
Yep. Well, I think we should move on and
measure.
find out how no expense was spared in the creation of artificial life.
Aha!
So, researchers from the University of Minnesota reckon they've created artificial cells using lab made DNA. And they demonstrate the full cell cycle of growth, genetic replication, and mitosis. And they say that they're not as good as natural cells, but it's a proof of concept that you can create life from these starting conditions. So the project's called Spud Cells, and there's no chance of them taking over the world
Yet.
because yes, they only grow in a liquid that is full of chemicals like ATP and feeder liposomes.
So how
So
close?
although they can replicate, they cannot self.
So how close is this to the classic sci-fi idea of life from scratch, or and how far still is it from anything that could be mistaken for actually alive?
I think it's a bit off from actually alive. To be actually alive, I think it would have to be fully self-contained, so it can't produce its own ATP and other chemicals. But that is something that will come with time.
If the more they work on this, it's going to be it will be a genuine milestone towards answering one of biology's oldest open question. What's the actual minimum requirement for something to be quote alive?
Yes, and also from the other oldest question, which is where does life come from?
Oh man. Oh boy.
Because we know that certain chemicals can become life. This demonstrates that that is something that is remotely possible. But what is the catalyst that causes it to happen?
I mean, if the Darwinian selection can happen inside a lab built chemical bag in 5 generations, does that quietly gut the life required a miracle slash divine spark argument way more directly than most science reporting is willing to say out loud?
I don't think so. I think for most people, by most people, I'm going to explicitly exclude groups like the Young Earth creationists, because for most people who I know, religious persuasion, the idea that the Bible is 100% literal is wrong and that it's a bunch of metaphors, especially for the Genesis stuff. And that so that becomes ties into sort of the God of the gap sphere, which is where, as science answers question, the idea of a divine spark or interference is answers what remains. And this just pushes back the idea of the divine intervention from life was created as is to the divine being put chemicals and conditions in place to allow life to evolve naturally. So I don't think for most people it's something that will be too upsetting.
What do you reckon, other guy? What do you reckon about this whole ordeal?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like just thinking about it, like in terms of that I'm not too sure what the name of the principle is, but like the fact that we are just perfectly in the right radius from the sun,
The Goldilocks zone.
I beg your pardon?
The Goldilocks zone.
Yeah, the Goldilocks zone, or the fact that, like, when we have an eclipse, the moon perfectly blocks the sun, which is a, really rare phenomenon. It gives life to the argument that, there was some level of design, but like on the other end, put with the random events happening at one point or another, this is technically or theoretically possible, right? What we're experiencing.
That would be interesting. Imagine using this to grow life on like on planets that have harsh environments. That would be wild. See how they adapt and grow. Although
Yeah.
although it'd be terrifying in terms of sci-fi wise. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, evolution into alien someone to kill us would take millions of years. That's something for future people to deal with.
I'm thinking more like, imagine Amazon just turns into the Wayland Yutani Corporation, and and weaponize the damn thing.
I mean, they basically already are.
Uh huh.
If one of their delivery drivers found an alien spaceship, don't you think Amazon would tell them to go in and see if there's anything worth salvaging?
Oh yeah, yeah. Or Tesla, Tesla. Yeah, but this is It'll be interesting if the corporations start weaponizing this, and are we going to be comfortable with a patent existing on the building blocks of a synthetic organism?
Well, that's already something that's come up for debate because Monsanto owns the patents to their GMO crops. And there are cases where they have sued for possession of the GMO crops illegally. So their claim is that you need to buy the crops from them if get them some other way than.
Mm.
And I'm not sure how that held up in court. It's something that's already been debated.
Okay, here's a thought for you guys. Let's say if a pharma company announces tomorrow that they were mass producing insulin from patented synthetic cells instead of engineered bacteria, suddenly a useless lab curiosity becomes the thing quietly setting prices on their prescription. What would they say? What would you say?
I would be so happy because
Okay,
it would break the monopoly on creating medications. I
yeah,
mean,
but
there's
if
always
you
the
were the
risk of it going rogue and killing us all, but what isn't got that? What hasn't got that risk?
All right, good point. Good point. What about you, other guy? If you were a pharma company and you announced it tomorrow that they were mass producing insulin from patented synthetic cells instead of engineered bacteria,
That's essentially what happened with the insulin production to begin with. Because if I'm remembering correctly, like previous to bacteria growing insulin, we would have to have used, I think, bovines to produce insulin. So that was like a huge bottleneck. And once we managed to make it like, uh, petri dish safe using bacteria to, I suppose, just transfer those material to produce insulin, that made the process like hundreds and thousands of times cheaper than using the bovine method. So like the next step I don't think is completely ridiculous to even think about because we're on our way there. I feel like it's just a matter of time. I don't think like, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, you have to like go against like the market practices of like profiting pharmaceutical patents, but at some point or another, the process just becomes slightly more efficient. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up in like a time where we can like 3D print the amino acids we need, like from insulin to, anti-cancer medications.
oh man, yeah, I'm wondering as well. A patent's already been filled out for this. Realistically, who ends up owning the first synthetic organism? Is it the universities, the biotech startups, or whoever the best patent lawyer, regardless of who did the actual science? Who's gonna own it? You reckon?
Whoever gets there first and has the best lawyers.
Yeah, that would be a wild court case.
Well,
Um,
I think we've settled that and we should go on with our shoutouts. This
yeah.
week, we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of Inside on the 29th of June. Inside is a 2016 puzzle platform horror game developed and published by Playdead. The player controls a boy in a dystopian world solving environmental puzzles and avoiding death. Inside follows Limbo's style with similar 2.5D gameplay. And I highly recommend it because it is a really interesting game, has some really interesting atmosphere. And on the 1st of July, we're celebrating the 35th anniversary of Nukem, the 1991 platform game developed and published by Apogee Software.
That was a fun game.
I've never played the very first Duke Nukem.
I did, and it was totally addictive at the time. Especially when you're just jumping up platforms and just shooting the aliens. And this was before the time when they decided to add the fan service, quote unquote.
Yeah, I've just always been put off by the EGA graphics, where everything is a hideous shade. According to the programmer and co-creator Todd Replodgel, John Carmack helped him to program in assembly language. John Carmack, the programming god. And to avoid a lawsuit with the animated series Captain Planet, they temporarily renamed to Duke Nukem with a U instead of an E. Then they realized Duke Nukem wasn't registered, so they registered it first.
Boy, Captain Planet must have been pissed.
Probably.
God damn it, Planeteers!
And our other shout out for this week on the 2nd of July 1937, which makes this the 89th anniversary. Amelia Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan are last heard from over the Pacific Ocean. They were last seen leaving in the heavily loaded Electra at 10 a.m. local time, leaving Lae Airfield. Their destination was Howland Island, 4,000 kilometers away. Expecting to fly for about 20 hours, the aircraft was due to arrive in the early morning of the next day. However, they were never seen again.
Yeah, there's been a lot of theories on what happened to them.
Yeah, so they have radio logs saying that they were flying towards the island but unable to locate it, despite there being a homing beacon on Cutter Itasca. And there's theories that the duo crashed on another island, were captured by the Japanese, were eaten by crabs. But most likely they probably crashed into the ocean and drowned.
Yeah, and every year, or nearly every year, we get like reports like we found Emily Earhart's airplane. We found the body and stuff like that. You're like, have they really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's an organization who like to make announcements every year or so that they've made some big breakthrough.
Is this like the same organization that keeps saying like we found a way how to resurrect the woolly mammoth? Here you go, guys.
Yeah, different organizations.
Ah.
So, DJ, what is our messed up moment this week?
Okay. Have you ever heard of a movie called Heaven's Gate?
No, is it related to the cult?
No, sadly it's not. It's a 1980s epic western movie directed by Michael Cimino. It it's a it revolves around the dispute between land barons and European immigrants of modest means in Wyoming in the 1890s. This was the movie that had faced a lot of setbacks, including the costs, a lot of retakes, bad press, and a whole other problem. Okay, now what you don't know about this movie, is the fact that this was the movie that was responsible for the whole, at the end of every movie, no animals were harmed disclaimer.
Oh no.
Ah,
So any movie you see when they say no animals were harmed, this was the movie that caused it. And the reason why it was caused by it was because there were live accusations of cruelty of animals during production. The American Humane Association, barred from monitoring the animals on set, issued press releases detailing the abuse and organized boycott picket lines. The outcry prompted the Screen Actors Guild and the Alliance of Motion Pictures and TV producers, that's a long-winded organization, to contractually authorize the AHA, the Humane Association, to monitor all of the animals filmed afterwards. One assertion that the steers, which are bulls, if I'm remembering correctly, were bled from the neck without giving them painkillers so that their blood could be collected and smeared upon the actors in a scene. The Humane Association asserted that 4 horses were killed and many were injured during a battle scene along with accusations that one of the horses were blown up with dynamite. According to the Humane Association, the owner of the abused horse filed a lawsuit against the producer, director, Partisan Productions, and the horse wrangler. The owner cited wrongful injury and breach of contract for willfully depriving her Arabian gelding of proper care. The suit cited, quote, the severe physical and behavioral trauma and disfigurement of the horse. The case was settled out of court. There were more. There's more of this. There were accusations of actual cockfights, decapitated chickens, and a group of cows disemboweled to provide fake intestines for the actors. During production, during the production of the film, two well-known 1-year-old grizzly bears disappeared the river valley where some of the shooting were taking place. The bears were known to the local community and biologists for regularly grazing near popular roads and has been previously tagged with radio transmitters. The bodies of the bears were never found, but one of the radio transmitters was discovered in a pile of brush cleared by road crew, having been cut from ear to ear of the animal. Rumors circulated throughout the community that the bears were shot by an extra from the film. This film is listed by the Humane Association's list of unacceptable film. The organization protested the film by distributing an international press release detailing the assertion of animal cruelty and asking the people to boycott it. They organized picket fences outside the movie theaters in Hollywood, while local humane societies did the same across the USA. Though Heaven's Gate was not the first film to have animals killed in its productions, it is believed that the film was largely responsible for sparking the now common use of "no animals were harmed."
Because
And
apparently
more
all the animals were harmed in this movie.
Oh yeah, and more rigorous supervision of animal acts by the Humane Association, which had been inspecting the film production since the 1940s. This is one of the films that not have the end credit disclaimer. The UK Blu-ray release from Second Sight Films removes a minute of the film footage relating to cockfights and animal cruelty. Prior video releases removed about a minute and 14 seconds of the cruelty. So yeah, yeah, that was one messed up time of Hollywood production. Man, I felt sorry for those animal owners after that entire production.
What about the animal?
Oh yeah, they must have been even worse.
Yep, and our wacky movie for this week is The Attack of the Symbiotic Pigs, which premiered in Spain 10 years ago. The plot is that a group of aliens belonging to the symbiotic pig species travel to Earth after the destruction of their birth planet, Piggy. Following an ancient legend, they arrive in the town where John Tribuco lives. He, according to a known legend, is a reincarnation of their messiah, Marco Picchetti. The local mayoress witnesses the arrival of sentient symbiotic pigs.
That's it. We killed the professor.
Yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the rest of this blurb.
This blurb gets weirder and weirder.
Yeah, there's a love triangle, a character called the Delusional, and the symbiotic pigs, an Empress Quasi-Tattoo who reappears from the shadows after being hidden in the underworld, after being accused of trying to conquer the Earth on 2 separate occasions, one of them by selling radioactive melons, and the second one, this just says, better not to say anything. Yeah, that makes no sense at all, really.
Come on, it's European cinema. When did European cinema ever made sense?
I guess you have some part of a point there.
And not to mention, by the way, this is a musical as well.
Well, that's all we have for you this week, so look after yourself, stay hydrated, and we will see you next time.
Stay happy, stay nerdy. Check us out on social media and our audio platforms. And get ready to be a pirate, everybody.